People with good heart, you will get one day what you deserve. Even if it is asking for your time, just be patient. One day, your wait will be worthwhile. On this positive note, let us resume our class today. I was teaching you Bonku Babu'S friend. It was not fully taught. Only pages from 70 to 75, I think it was taught in our previous class. In this class, I will resume from page number 76. And you know the rule of my class. The book should be kept open in front of you so that you can relate. You can have a track of whatever I'm teaching. Before we proceed, I would like to recapitulate because recapitulation is very, very important. It will help you to catch from where we have left it, right? We came to know about Bonku Babu, a gentle, meek and peaceful man. He was ridiculed by almost everybody he knew, be it his friends, be it his associates. He was sarcastically called as Bunkum. One day he came across a spaceship in the middle of Ponchaghoshe's bamboo grove, and with its illuminating pink light, it made the whole area glowing. And he also heard a voice coming out of that spaceship, that is Millipipping Crook. He did not understand what it was. So he just paused over there because he had no idea about it. And what he will do afterwards, the readers have no idea about. Now, we will decipher in the next page what happened actually. So let us go to the next page, that is page number 76. Please open it and let us discover what happened to this character named Bonku Babu. So who are you? Who are you? Why? These were English words. Was the question addressed to him? Bonku Babu swallowed. I am Bonku Bihari Datta, sir. Bonku Bihari Datta, he replied. So some voice from that spaceship said or asked rather, who are you? And this was in English. So Bonku Babu understood it and he answered back like, it's Bonku Bihari Datta. He repeated it twice. Are you English? Are you English? The voice went on. No, sir, Bonku Babu shouted back. Bengali, sir. A Bengali, sir. This was followed by a short pause. Then the voice came back speaking clearly. Namaskar. Bonku Babu heaved a sigh of relief. So Bonku Babu just cast a sigh of relief. He did not understand what was going on and returned the greeting. Namaskar. Again, he said Namaskar. He said suddenly realizing the invisible bonds that were holding him tightly had disappeared. So there was a bond that was holding Bonku Babu's feet and hands tightly and it was invisible, which was actually barring Bonku Babu to go forward and communicate with him. That vanished. So he was free to run away, but he did not. Now Bonku Babu was completely free, but he did not run away. Now his astounded eyes could see that a portion of glass mound was sliding to one side, opening out like a door. Now astounded means bewildered, confused. So his confused eyes could see that a portion of glass mound means heel-like. So as I told you, it was like a dome-shaped one. So that half of that was sliding to one side and opening out like a door. Through that door emerged a head, like a plain smooth ball. So the head, how was the head looking? Like a plain smooth ball. And then the body of a weird creature. Its arms and legs were amazingly thin. With the expectation of its head, its whole body was covered by a shiny pink outfit. So actually it is getting us reminded of the famous character named Jadoo that was there in Koi Mil Gaya, right? We all have watched the movie and we thoroughly enjoyed it. This creature here is quite relatable with Jadoo. Instead of ears, it had tiny holes on each side of its head. On the face were two holes where there should have been a nose. So here this part was empty. Instead of a nose, here there were two holes and another gaping hole instead of a mouth. So here in this part, there was again a hole. Gaping means wide open. There was no shine of hair anywhere. Its eyes were round and bright yellow, glaring eyes. They appeared to be glowing in the dark. So it was completely dark and his eyes were glowing. The creature walked slowly towards Bonku Babu. The creature is walking slowly towards Bonku Babu and stopped only a few feet away. Then it gave a steady, unblinking stare like that. So his eyes were not blinking even. It was a straight stare, uninterrupted one. Then automatically, Bonku Babu found himself folding his hands. Having stared at him for nearly a minute, it spoke in the same voice that sounded more like a flute man, anything else. Are you human? Like that. Yes. Is this Earth? Yes. Ah, I thought as much. My instruments are not working properly. I was supposed to go to Pluto. I wasn't sure where I had landed. So I spoke to you first in the first language they use on Pluto. When you didn't reply, I could tell I had landed on Earth. So that Millipiping Crook was a language used in Pluto. So he first communicated in that language, but when Bonku Babu did not reply, he understood this is Earth. A complete waste of time and effort. It happened once before. Instead of going to Mars, I veered off and went to Jupiter. I veered off means I changed my direction and went to Jupiter. Delayed me by a whole day. So I was delayed by a whole day. It did. Hey, hey, hey. Bonku Babu did not know what to say. I mean, if somebody comes down in front of you and starts saying all this, how will you react? This was not expected. This was not something usual happening to him, right? So he was speechless completely. So he was feeling quite uncomfortable. For the creature had reached out and was examining Bonku Babu's arms and legs with its long bony fingers. So it started to examine Bonku Babu's hands and his legs and everything. When it finished, it introduced itself. I am Ang. Please underline, this is important. I am Ang from the planet Crinus, a far superior being than man. So he here established himself to be more superior than that of a man. What? This creature, barely 4 feet tall, with such thin limbs and weird face, was superior to a man? Is that possible? I mean, look at him. He does not even have a good physique. He's very thin. He's covered with a pink colored outfit and he does not even have ears or mouth. And he's saying that he's superior to a man. Bonku Babu nearly burst out laughing and read his mind immediately. There is no need to be skeptical. You don't have to doubt about me. I can prove it. How many languages do you know? Bonku Babu scratched his head. Bengali, English, and Hindi, a little Hindi. You mean 2.5? Yes, I know 14,000. Again, important, please underline. So he knows 14,000 languages. Can you imagine? There isn't a single language in our solar system that I do not know. So he knows almost all the languages used in the solar system. I also know 31 languages spoken on planets outside your system. I have been to 25 of them. How old are you? Bonku Babu replied, I'm 50. I am 833. So can you imagine the number? He was 833 years old. Do you eat animals? Bonku Babu had mutton curry only recently on the day of Kali Puja. How could he deny it? We stopped eating meat several centuries ago, and informed him. Before that, we used to eat the flesh of most creatures. I might also have eaten you. Bonku Babu swallowed hard. The matter is getting really frightful now. Take a look at this, and offered him a small object. It looked like a pebble. Bonku Babu touched it for an instant and felt the same electric current pass through his body. He withdrew his hand at once and smiled. A little while ago, you could not move an inch. Do you know why? It was because I had this little thing in my hand. I would stop anyone from getting closer. Nothing can be more effective than this in making an enemy utterly powerless without actually hurting him physically. So he showed something that was in his hand through which he can operate somebody to move close to him. Okay, he can actually resist any of his enemies without hurting him physically. Now Bonku Babu was genuinely taken aback. His mind was coming out of its stunned state and said, "Is there any place that you have wished to visit or a scene that you have longed to see but never could?" And he's asking. Bonku Babu thought, why, the whole world remained to be seen. He taught geography, but what had he seen except a few villages and towns in Bengal? There was so much in Bengal itself he had never had a chance to see. The snow-capped Himalayas, the seashore in Digha, the forests in Sundarban, or even that famous banyan tree in the botanical gardens of Shivpur. So these are the things he wanted to see, but he could not get a chance to go out of his small village and could actually see all this. However, he mentioned none of these thoughts to Anne. There is much I would like to see. He finally admitted, but most of all, think I would like to visit the North Pole. I come from a warm country, you see, so it's incomplete. And took out a small tube, one end of which was covered by a piece of glass. Take a look through this, and invited. Bonku Babu peered through the glass and felt all his hair rise. So what did he see that made all his hair rise like that? Could this be true? Could he really believe his eyes? Before him stretched an endless expanse of snow, dotted with large hillocks, also covered with ice and snow. Above him, against a deep blue sky, all the colors of a rainbow were forming different patterns, changing every second. The aurora borealis. What is aurora borealis? It's nothing but a natural electrical phenomenon characterized by the appearance of the streams of reddish and greenish light in the sky, mostly in the southern and northern country. So what was that? An igloo. There was a group of polar bears. Wait, there was another animal, a strange, peculiar creature. Yes, it was a walrus. Walrus means what? It's a marine mammal, a sort of a seal fish. So there were two of them in fact, and they were fighting. Their tusks were bared, large as radishes. They were attacking each other. So they had tusks like radish, white in color, and they were attacking each other. Streams of bright red blood were flowing on the soft white snow. It was December. And Bonku Babu was looking at an area hidden under layers of snow. Still he broke out into sweat. So Bonku Babu could not believe his eyes. Is that possible for any human being to roam around all the places he wishes to? Is that possible through just a tube sort of substance? But he could see everything he ever wished to see. So even if it was December and it was all covered with snow, he was sweating. What about Brazil? Don't you wish to go there? Asked Ang. Bonku Babu remembered instantly piranhas, those deadly carnivorous fish. Amazing! How did this Ang know that he would like to see? Bonku Babu peered through the tube again. He could see a dense forest. Only a little scattered sunlight had crept in through the almost impenetrable foliage. So there was, foliage means what? Leaves. So he is now somewhere which you can call it a cave, and only scattered sunlight hardly penetrated inside through the foliage. There was a huge tree, and hanging from the branch. What was that? Oh God, he could never even have imagined the size of a snake. Anaconda. The name flashed through his mind. Yes, he had read about it in an old issue of National Geographic magazine. It was said to be much, much larger than a python. Oh, here was a canal. Crocodiles lined its banks, sleeping in the sun. One was going to go into the water. Splash! Bonku Babu could almost hear the noise, but the crocodile had jumped out of the water very quickly. With his eyes nearly popping out, Bonku Babu noted that there was virtually no flesh left on the belly of the crocodile. Bones were showing through clearly. Attached to the remaining flesh were 5 fish with amazingly sharp teeth and a monstrous appetite. What it was? It was piranha. Bonku Babu could not bear to watch anymore. His limbs were literally trembling. His head reeled painfully. Now, do you believe that we are superior? Ang asked, and wanted to know. Bonku Babu ran his tongue over his parched lips. Parched means dried up. Yes. Oh yes, certainly, of course, he croaked. He harshly said, yes, you all are superior to all the men out there. Very well. Look, I have been observing you and I have examined your arms and legs. You belong to a much inferior species. There is no doubt about that. However, as human beings go, you are not too bad. I mean, you are a good man. But you have a major fault. What is that? You are too much meek and mild. That is why you have made so little progress in life. You must always speak up against injustice and protest if anyone hurts or insults you without any provocation. So this is a life lesson. Through the story, the author wants us to understand. What is that? We should always raise our voice against the injustice. We should not keep our mouth shut. Whenever we see something immoral is happening around, we should raise our voice. We should fling our voice and say, this is wrong, stop it. We should not keep our mouth shut. We can't afford to do it rather. So, Ang is saying here, to take things quietly is wrong. Not just for man, but for any creature, anywhere. Anyway, it was nice to have met you, although I wasn't really supposed to be here at this time. There's no point in wasting more time on earth. I had better go. Goodbye, Mr. Ang. I'm very glad to have made you. So he did not finish his speech. Bonku Babu could not complete his sentence. In less than a second, almost before he could grasp what was happening, and had leaped into the spaceship and had risen over Poncha Ghosh's bamboo grove. Then he vanished completely. Bonku Babu realized that the crickets had started chirping again. It was really quite late. So just imagine, what just happened to Bonku Babu was unnatural and was beyond imagination. Had it been happening with any of us, what would have happened then? I mean, I had no idea about it. Bonku Babu could not complete his sentence, and in just less than a moment, everything disappeared in front of his eyes. Was it a nightmare? Was he daydreaming? Nobody knows. Or it did happen to him in reality. We did not have any answer to this. Bonku Babu resumed walking towards his home, his mind still in a wondrous haze. Slowly, in full implications of the recent events began to sink in. A man, no, it was not a man, it was an Ang, had come here from some unknown planet and spoken to him. happened to Bonku Babu? How extraordinary, how completely incredible. There were billions and billions of people in the world. But who got the chance to have this wonderful experience? Bonku Bihari Datta. People used to call him unique. People used to call him extraordinary. And it just proved in the true sense of the term that in the whole world, it would have happened to anybody, but it just happened to Bonku Babu. Teacher of geography and Bengali in the Kakurgachi village primary school. No one else. From today, at least in this particular matter, yes, he is unique. In the whole wide world, Bonku Babu realized that he was no longer walking. With a spring in every step, he was actually dancing. He got some power back somehow, and he was not just limping anymore. Rather, he was dancing. He was springing with each of his steps. The next day was a Sunday. Everyone had turned out for their usual meeting at Shripati Babu's home. There was a report in the local paper about a strange light. But it was only a small report. This light had been seen by a handful of people in only 2 places in Bengal. It was therefore being put in the same category as sightings of flying saucers. Tonight, Poncha Ghosh was also present at the meeting. He was talking about this bamboo grove. All the bamboos around the pond in the middle of the wood had lost all their leaves. So in the middle of the bamboo grove, there was some spare space. Okay, so all the leaves and everything were just lost, and there was nothing but an emptiness. It was not usual for leaves to drop off in winter, for so many plants to become totally bare overnight was suddenly a remarkable occurrence. Yes, it was. Everyone was talking about it when suddenly Vairav Chakrabarti said, "Why is Bonku so late today?" Everyone stopped talking. Again, they are waiting for a topic to come so that they can again start to ridicule the man. So far, no one had noticed Bonku Babu's absence. I don't think Bunkum will show his face here today. Didn't he get an earful yesterday? So yes, yesterday what happened to him, we all know. Everybody said so many things about him, and Bonku Babu was hurt. He felt insulted. Even if he could not say anything, his eyes were springing with tears, and he just left the place. No, Shripati Babu sounded concerned. We must have Bonku. Ram, can I go and see if you can get hold of him? Okay, I will go as soon as I have had my tea, replied Ramkanai, and was about to take a sip when Bonku Babu entered the room. No, to say entered would be wrong. It was as if a small hurricane swept inside in the guise of a short, dark man, throwing everyone into stunned silence. So we can see there was much change in Bonku Babu's appearance rather. He used to enter that place every day, but today was a different day. When he entered, people thought that a sort of hurricane or some sort of storm had taken place in the room. And it was nothing but Bonku Babu. Bonku Babu just entered the room and everybody fell into silence. Then it swung onto action. Bonku Babu burst into guffaw and laughed uproariously for a whole minute, the like of which no one had heard before, not even Bonku Babu himself. So it was like a guffaw, means it was like a boisterous laugh. Okay, and nobody had heard Bonku Babu like that before. When he could finally stop, he cleared his throat and began speaking. Friends, I have great pleasure in telling you that this is the last time you will see me at your meetings. The only reason I am here today is simply that I would like to tell you a few truths before I go. Number one, this is for all of you. You all speak a great deal of absolute rubbish. Means all your words are baseless. You generally speak rubbish which you all stop practicing. Only idiots talk of this. They don't know anything about. Number two, this is for Chandi Babu. At your age, hiding other people's shoes and umbrellas is not just childish, but totally stupid and wrong. Kindly return my umbrella and brown canvas shoes to my house tomorrow. Nidhu Babu, if you call me Bunkum, I shall call you Nitwit. And you must learn to live with that. Shripati Babu, you are an important man. Of course, you must have chamchas, sycophants. Sycophants means who flatters others. But let me tell you, from today you can count me out. Because you can't consider me as any of your chamchas. I am not here to lick your foot. If you like, I can send my cat to you. It's quite good at licking feet. And, oh, you are here as well, Poncha Babu. Let me inform you that everyone else last night, an ang arrived from the planet Crinus and landed on the pond in your bamboo grove. Everybody was just stunned to listen to all this. We had a long chat. The ang was most amicable, means he was friendly. He was good. Bonku Babu finished his speech and slapped Vairav Chakraborty's back so hard that he choked. Then he made his exit, striding out with a bounce and whistle. Striding means to walk with long steps and a whistle. His eyes sparkling. His head held high. In the same instant, the cup fell from Ramkanai's hand, shattering into pieces and splattering hot tea on most of others. Yes, here ends the story. We can understand that we often lack the courage. Whenever the courage is required, we should speak up. Okay, we can't just do away with things. Those are shattering us every day. If we find it is wrong, we should definitely stand up against this. This is what Ang has taught us. Through Ang, the writer has taught the whole world, the whole audience. The story reveals the ups and downs of companionship, the complexities that we can face in friendship. We should always be happy with whatever little we have. We should never complain against anything. Bonku Babu has taught us. He was very much happy with whatever little things he had received. In spite of all the bullying, all the wrong words that have been uttered against him, he did not pay heed to any of those. He was living his life because he got the positivity that he derived from the little things that were present all around. These things are very valuable in our life, and they might not seem significant until they are gone. So we should always be thankful for whatever we have received in our life. Nevertheless, this is an amusing story, but it has offered a deep insight into it, and we could see what is what. Ang has taught us a life lesson today, which all of us will remember. Life will be more beautiful with all such amazing lessons, right? And now my task is done. Now it's your job to read it out fully. You just read the whole text. Let me know in the comment section wherever you have faltered and what are the doubts you faced during your reading. And in the next class, I'll come up with the exercise. The probable question answers of Bonku Babu, and something else will also be there. That is a surprise. Let it be a surprise. Till then, please keep reading, keep learning. Let me know how did you enjoy my class, and Until next time, take care of yourself, take care of everybody all around. We are meeting in the next class. This weight will get over very soon. Bye bye.